fascinating intervention today, I have to say, on defence by Opposition Leader Peter Dutton, the former Defence Minister. He's written a piece in the Australian newspaper today revealing he was in talks with the US about buying 2 of its nuclear subs straight off the production line. No talk about let's build them all in South Australia, which I always thought was an idiocy. Straight off the production line for delivery in 2030, just 8 years from now. And this came, of course, after the new Defence Minister, Richard Marles, was saying last week, oh no, these nuclear subs, they're going to be late. We wouldn't get them for another 20 years at least, and then we'd need to build some new diesel ones in the meantime. It sounds to me that Peter Dutton was calling out Richard Marles for that misleading information, and Richard Marles wasn't happy at all about that today.
No, he wasn't. And they both ended up having a bit of a shot at each other. But the government's not ruling out buying those subs early. In an interview last year with Peter Dutton, he did say to me, I did ask, are you looking to lease subs in the meantime from the US? And he indicated, yes, I am working on that. But here it's really clear. He kept alluding to this before the campaign and during the campaign. We might have something to say soon about getting submarines up and running, nuclear submarines in Australia quicker. Big question out of this for me is, did Scott Morrison stop Peter Dutton talking about this during the campaign? And if so, why? Is it because it would raise concerns about the manufacturing element in South Australia and they thought they'd lose seats there? It seems very peculiar when they're running for election they wouldn't mention this. Instead, they run on a promise to get submarines in 2040 out in the never-never, instead of mentioning this option that was clearly on the table to get them by 2030 from the Americans. So it is an interesting intervention. He wants to call him out. I just wonder why we weren't told earlier, Andrew.
That is a really good question. I also think he didn't want Richard Marles to later take the credit for saying, I solved it. I got these subs, 10 years earlier than the government was talking about. So I think that there was a little bit of a scene setting there. But the thing is, you are so right. How often, I think this is one of being the biggest flaws, particularly in our submarines area, to treat that project like a job creation project for South Australia instead of something crucial for the defence of Australia. It doesn't matter who builds the subs if we need them now. Just get them. I don't get it. This is just crazy. But
the whole geopolitical framework will change by 2040. So it always looked like, so what? They're in 2040. This could have been a critical argument during the election campaign for Morrison. Anyway, he didn't take it up. Maybe he didn't think it was possible. I don't know.
So true. Yeah, but in the meantime, they got all those hits. Greg Sheridan was on this too. We're not going to get these subs when we need them. We're going to get them in 20 years when we need them now. I mean, you're kidding. So I think you're right. That was a really big political miscalculation. Thank you very much for your time, Andrew Clennell.
Thanks, Andrew.